my friends, and welcome back to EVE Online with me, Mark from DadX. We've got the Tier 0 Abyss. We're going to give it a go. I've managed to get 2 filaments that were for sale in the whole of the region. This is the Tranquil level Abyss. I'm in the cruiser I've just done a Tier 2 Abyss in, so this isn't about me clearing the site of my ship. It's literally to see what's in here. I've no clue what we're going to find. This is entry level. The filaments at the moment are stupidly overpriced. The price has to come down or these just aren't really going to be workable. They're just in very short supply at the moment. Right, so here we are. We've got 2 of the drone frigates, blast needles. They're going to do us some explosive damage, but they're not going to touch us. I'm quite sure about that. As I said, I've literally just grabbed a couple of filaments from Doe Dixie that were up for sale. Jumped in. I've only got Caldari Navy ammo and Rage ammo on me, and you probably could just use standard ammo in here. I'm going to say that almost straight away, because killing this stuff in a cruiser is not going to be too hard at all. You could come here in the most entry level cruiser, I think, and deal with this room. Let's see what they're like anyway. I'm not sure how they're restricted, how the loot's capped, etc, etc, so we're here to see. And this is the dark filament that I popped here, by the way. So we're getting a kinetic missile damage, well, kinetic damage bonus. No, we're not, are we? We've got lowered kinetic resistances. But they scarcely seem relevant here, to be fair. Now, I've heard tell that you can solo these in a very low skill frigate. As soon as I can get 3 filaments of the same type, I shall try it. And that is what we will be looking at in another video. But this is purely a first look. So here, disappointingly, it's given me 2 pairs of filaments for the Cruiser Abyss event. I'd much rather have had 1 or 2 more of the Tranquil filaments, to be honest. This is supposed to be entry level for players to get their first taste of the Abyss. Why are you dangling Cruiser PvP in their face? So I hope there are going to be more of these filaments around. I don't know if we're going to get some dropped as a login gift. Second room, again, we've got 2 more of the drone frigates. Strike needles this time, and they do kinetic damage. I've not even switched my resistance module on. What I'm doing here actually is I'm shooting them with my missiles. I've judged that I need to stop shooting just before they die. Basically, there's a flight of missiles. The flight of missiles that is going to kill these frigates is in the air when I'm ready to launch another flight of missiles. If I stop that flight, it saves me a flight of missiles, and if I do that on over 4 or 5 frigate ships, if you can figure it out on a site, stop the launcher firing just before it dies, and the flight that's already on the way will kill it. It can save you, 20-25% of a rapid launcher reload. So there's a little tip. It's not something you can really do when things are hectic, but if you can figure out your rate of fire and how things are dying, save yourself a few missiles. Anyway, let's get on to the next room and see what it has in store for us. Always a little surprising moment. Right, what have we got here? We've got 1 frigate, a devoted hunter. And I'm not at all sure who he is, and forgive me, I didn't think to open his show info screen when I was in the room. I've not seen a devoted hunter in the Abyss before, but then again, I'd never seen a marshal in the Abyss before until a couple of days ago when one blew my caracal to pieces. That'll be in a video too. That took me a little bit by surprise. It's really hard, especially if it's a big dangerous rat. You don't know whether you want to get in close, you want to stay away, what you're going to do. But no, the Marshal pooned me. This guy is significantly tougher as a frigate than the drone frigates we were taking out in the previous couple of rooms. He's taken as long to kill as all of those did. So he might be someone to watch out for if you are in a frigate yourself, because he looks like he's a little bit tankier than the rest. But no worries. Certainly in a caracal, a Tech 2 fit caracal. Straight through, we're straight back out into a lovely normal space. We've only made about 500,000, 600 grand's worth of plates, plus the cruiser PvP filaments. Not too useful for a new player, as I said, but I used the other filament too. I'm going to speed up the run footage wise on this one. and that's a firestorm filament, so it's reduced explosive resistances, and armor is going to have 50% bonus. So that's going to work quite heavily against you. As we've seen, it makes the sites hard work if they're already a level of site that's quite tricky for you. But I have a feeling it's going to make very little difference to the running of this site. The last one took about 4.5 minutes to run. So we got about 600k in 4.5 minutes. I can't remember how much money you make in a venture with Alpha Skills mining, but it's been a while since I did it. But it might be just comparable way of what might be quite a passive form of income. Obviously you're going to need to wait until you've got the money for a cruiser to be able to do this with one filament and have a very easy time of it. Or if you want to get a bit more adventurous, you could go for 3 filaments, then you get triple the loot, remember, but potentially you can do it in your 1 frigate. So that's the direction we'll have a look at, because if you could get 1.5 mil a run in basically a little frigate that you've got into very early on that cost you not much more than that, or maybe around 1.5 million anyway, might be worth looking at. Hey, but we'll find out. So absolutely no problems here at all. There you go. That room's cleared. We did get another Tranquil filament on this run, so we got one more run to do. Although I might just save them. I don't think there's any value in me using another one on a cruiser unless I did it in a Blackbird with 1 rocket launcher just for a laugh or something. Because I just think the amount of tank you've got in a cruiser means that you could probably ram the rats to death on these sites. So there you go, we've got 1 more filament to run another site in. We're doing okay. Last room. Again, it's the drone frigates. They're going to go down very easily. We're just going to fly over. Obviously the other difference I haven't mentioned yet is there's only the bioadaptive cache and the gate out. There are none of the extra loot boxes to be flown across the site to fetch. So it's very, very simple. You can't really go wrong in here. I think for me it's going to be a question of how low can I go in terms of the cost and the fit of the ship, like I can clear one of these in. I think that's going to be the little bit of a challenge maybe on this for me. So there you go. We've got another filament. We've got a calm filament. We've got a couple more plates, so it's a little bit of money, and it's again taken like just 4.5 minutes to do. So why not give it a go if you want to? I will, well, as soon as I've got the filaments, I will do some frigate runs and we'll have a look at some fits for the new bros and the guys that want to mess about out here doing this kind of a thing. But for now, guys, there's my first look. I think it could be very good. I think the whole of New Eden is getting a little bit more fighty and a little bit more interactive no matter where you fly or what you do. So having more ways in the game for you to get a bit more used to dealing with the unexpected, and some places you can maybe learn to rough and tumble a little bit more than you do in standard site PvE. You're never really going to lose a ship on one of those kind of sites unless things go horribly wrong. And of course, once you've got your head around these tier 0s, you go up and do your tier 1s. You're going to get noticeably better loot. And I've made a few videos on just how you might go about doing that, haven't I? So anyway, leave us a like if you've liked it. Any comments always welcome. Subscribe if you want to stay in touch. Remember, guys, even is believing. Take care of yourselves and goodbye.